Alrighty, I think we can begin. Let's see here. It is 2 p.m. and I do still see some folks hopping on little by little. Um, but I see some of you have your camera on. For those of you that do, thank you. I love the collaboration. I would love to see your faces. I understand you might be at work or working or with your children or at home with your family. So either way, I just appreciate you attending and joining today. Um, Donald, I do see you. If you can hear me, can you give me a thumbs up? Beautiful. Okay, I just want to make sure we're all good to go there. Wonderful. Alrighty, we have a solid group here. So again, thank you for joining. I just want to do a quick introduction. My name is Taban. I'm the Director of Student Services here at CIET. Been here for 4 years or so, and I do oversee our wonderful Student Services Department all the way from the front end with our enrollment coordinators to records and student services. We have a few other departments joining us that are going to be speaking and introducing themselves. They're also very wonderful. So we're excited to have all of you here today. Before we begin, just a few items. Number one, I think Donald mentioned this in the chat, but I'll mention it just one more time. Everyone has been auto muted just to make sure we clear out any distractions or background noise. I just want to make sure it's distraction free and pretty smooth for the next, I would say, hour or so. And then the second thing is going to be, please keep an eye out for the chat. So if you're watching this, I am going to share my screen in just a moment. We do have our wonderful team of enrollment coordinators. They've been working side by side with your admissions advisor to help with your enrollment process and getting you scheduled. Please keep the chat open because here is where we're going to put a lot of the links to articles or links that you maybe want to save throughout the orientation that are going to be really, really helpful and really useful. They will be monitoring our chat as well. So if you have any questions along the way, I have my chat open. I'll try to get to them as much as I can. But because we're in auto mute, we do want to utilize that chat if we need to get in touch. Okay. And I'm going to begin. So I will share my screen. Alrighty. Can y'all give me a thumbs up if you can see my perfect. Kenya, thank you. I see you. So I got the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Wonderful. Alrighty. So welcome. We're super excited to have you. This is our new student orientation, April 23rd. By the way, this is recorded for the folks who want to go back and watch it, or for those of you that are going to be watching after orientation, this recording is for you. But we're super excited to have you all here. We're excited for you to all begin your academic journey, whether you're first time, returning, looking to make a career change. If it's a completely new field for you, we got you taken care of. We're super excited to have you here. So let's just go ahead and dive right in and things that we're going to be talking about today. So our agenda for today is going to be, how can we prepare you for your first day? Okay. What are the types of support that we have here at CIET? Some tips for success, and it may sound a little cliche, but I think it's really, really helpful. Those are some tips that are that students have given us prior and that they do really work. We'll talk a little bit about our IT certifications, next course preparation. What does that look like? We'll go over that. We have our wonderful career services department here to talk about their support and their services. We have our wonderful financial aid department here that's going to be talking about their support and their services. And then at the end, we'll leave it open for a Q&A to where if you just want to raise your digital hand or your virtual hand, I should say, and then I can go through and unmute you and we can answer any questions together. Just as a heads up, for any folks utilizing any military benefits, we do not have anything military benefit related here. I do ask that you do join our military brief at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. So in about an hour and a half. So we'll give ourselves about an hour for the orientation, and then you'll have about a 30-minute break. Thank you, Donald. So again, if you look in the chat, Donald put in our link for the military brief, which is going to be a separate link at 3:30. Wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So how do we prepare you for your first day? Start date. So the start date is Monday, April 27th. That's the official date in which the term begins. Now, between now and that start date, I want to make sure that all of you have access to your platforms. So I want to explain this. I think it'll help with a little bit of what you have to get to get to the next, right? So the number one, initially, you need to be able to get into your student portal. Once you get into your student portal, then you are able to retrieve multiple entities or multiple platforms, okay? Your student portal, you want to consider it like your home page, like your hub for everything, right? It's going to be your hub for anything personal, your schedule, anything that you have to schedule, tutor requests. The student portal is step one. That's where you need to be immediately. So if you cannot get into your student portal, please drop your name into the chat and say, can't get into my student portal. Now, hang tight, because if you can get into your portal, then what you need to do, thank you, Donald, for adding that into the chat. That's the link for your student portal. Your student portal has nothing academic related. What that means is you're going to log into your student portal, and it's kind of like your personal concierge, okay? When you get into your student portal, then you're going to want to access what we call Canvas. That's the learning platform that you all are going to be utilizing daily. This is where you're going to be going in to submit your discussions, complete your assessments, take your final, submit your discussions, respond to classmates. That's your gradebook, the course syllabi. That's where everything academic lives. Okay, so number one is your student portal. Number two is once you're in your portal, you're going to click on the Canvas link, or essentially, Donald, if you can put that screenshot in there. Once you're in a portal, get to Canvas, and Canvas will open up an entirely new platform. When you're in Canvas, between now and Monday and every other class moving forward, I think it's really, really important that you review your course syllabus. Your course syllabus is going to help you immensely. Even if you just review it really briefly this weekend, I promise it's going to get you prepared, right? That's the goal. We want you to come into this feeling good, feeling prepared, feeling like, all right, I know exactly what week one is going to entail. Kind of even just the course itself. What are the outcomes? What are the learning objectives? What's expected of me as a student into this course? I think you should do that for every single class, and not just your first one. But of course, for the first one, it's really important that you do that. So make sure you have access to your portal. Thank you, Donald, for adding that. And make sure you have access to Canvas. And when you're in there, review your syllabus. The next thing that I do recommend for you is to complete your CIAT readiness course. Now, this has already been added to all of your Canvas, what we call shells. So your Canvas platform, everyone has a CIAT readiness course. It's a very quick, easy, interactive, maybe 20 to 30 minute guide walkthrough type of course that you do, and it just goes over how to post a discussion. What does attendance look like? Where can I find my grade book? There's so many helpful tips and tools that you're going to go through within this readiness course. So it's going to put you a little bit of a step ahead coming into your classes on Monday. Okay, so again, make sure you have access to your portal, make sure you have access to Canvas, complete your CIT readiness course. And the next thing that I want to make sure that we have access to is going to be Microsoft Teams. Now, I know that a lot of institutions might use Teams or Zoom as their live course instruction and lectures and whatnot. We do use Microsoft Teams. Even the staff here, we all utilize Microsoft Teams. So if you need to get in touch with one of us, it's really easy to get in touch. once you have your Microsoft Teams up. That's where you're going to be interacting with your instructors. That's where you're going to be interacting with your classmates. You can message your advising team. It doesn't matter. Anything, all communication is going to live in Microsoft Teams. Last thing that I want to say here is I want you all to be prepared to purchase your textbooks. Now, I don't recommend purchasing all of your textbooks for every single course in your program today, or I don't recommend purchasing them all at once. As we know, textbooks can be expensive. We also understand that there are new editions that come out, right? Or a new version. This could be a minor change in this, or this could have a change, and it's always updating. We recommend that you purchase your textbook course by course. Okay, Kenneth, I do see your hand up. If you can just put it into the chat. I'm just going to pause right here, right? So if you're having issues getting into Canvas, I know that Canvas has been a little twitchy the last couple of days with the access denied. So just give it some time to keep refreshing. It was a Canvas error that was, or a system error that was happening yesterday. So if you can get into the portal, that's great, but you can't get into Canvas, let's just give it a little bit of time, then you can let us know if you still can't get in, probably by tomorrow. Ryan, you are a bachelor's student. It's not something that you have to do since you already took it with us. Beautiful. Looks like everyone's been responding. Where do you buy the textbooks? Absolutely. So Donald did put into the chat the textbook list. This is one of those things that I recommend you save. You're going to have to visit it every single term. It goes through course by course, the exact textbook that you need. And some of them have an ebook or a traditional like hardback textbook. Okay. You can buy them used. It doesn't matter. That's the information of the textbook. Okay. For those of you that are having problems getting into the student portal, the enrollment coordinators are going to be reaching out to you to work on access. Beautiful. Thank you, Bianca. Perfect. Awesome. We're working through that chat. So again, thank you for those of you that have let us know that you can't get into your portal. Like I said, do what you're doing, put it into the chat, and it looks like our team is going to be reaching out to you and emailing you. So I appreciate it. And if you have any more questions, or can I put your hand down maybe? Okay, beautiful. I am going to move on. Perfect. Hardback or ebook. Honestly, it's your learning style. It's up to you. So some students prefer hardback. They're more traditional learners. Some prefer an ebook. It's a lot quicker to be delivered. It's accessibility wherever you are. You can be sitting on a bus, on a train, in a plane, whatever. It's personal preference, to be honest with you. Awesome. Thank you, Alfredo. All righty, let's talk about the types of support. So we have a wonderful team of dedicated student success advisors, and I'm going to take it beyond this, and I will be sure to update this. We have a dedicated team of advisors. It doesn't matter if it's your student success advisor, if it's your career service advisor, if it's your admissions advisor, if it's your financial aid advisor, right? It doesn't matter. Your dedicated team of advisors is going to help you with everything, right? So please, 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 if we're reaching out to you, that's the person that's going to be your point of contact. And if you want to reach out to us and say, hey, I don't know who this is, or I forgot their name, that's okay. Everyone here can help you, but you do have a dedicated team, just to let you know. Okay. We also do have an online support portal. So if you have a quick question, what you can do is you can submit a request for information. And what that does is it gets sent within 24 hours. It gets sent to your student success advisor or your financial aid coordinator or your career services advisor. Either way, it's a really quick way to get some answers. Please, please, please utilize our online support portal, which is located in our student portal. We also have academic tutoring. This is one of my favorite things that we offer here at CIT. We have student tutors, part-time tutors, instructors that act as tutors as well. We have support, we have help, and it's provided to you free of cost. So it's nothing you have to pay. If you need help with a lab, if you need help with the certification, if you need help with a concept, a gen ed course, a core course, it doesn't matter. If you don't feel confident about something, immediately request the tutoring. We have it here for you. We want you to utilize it. That's what it's here for. Perfect, Donald. Thank you for putting that into the chat. And then we do have disability support services. So any student, if you are going to be needing any type of accommodations due to a disability, you're going to see a link in the chat to click on, and you are going to be scheduling a DSS intake appointment. That comes with me. So it's just a conversation that you and I have together. I do ask for medical documentation, and then we can go through that intake appointment. But I do encourage for students that do need support due to a disability, we have it. So please schedule an appointment, and I look forward to working and speaking with you. Beautiful. Thank you for putting that into the chat. All righty. So let's talk about some tips for success. I really want to be clear on this one. So I'm going to say this, and you probably will know it, or you'll feel it after the first 5 weeks, but 5-week terms go by so fast. So fast. They go by quickly. So because they're 5-week terms, we want to make sure that you understand what are some things that can help you be successful. Thanks, Donald. That's awesome. So number one is going to be participation, right? I'm going to talk about attendance on my next slide, which is going to be really important for all of you to really listen and understand. However, your live courses, although the participation of that doesn't count for actual attendance, it is crucial for your success in your course. That is your time to connect one-on-one with your instructor, one-on-one with your classmates, get that live interaction and that feedback. So let's take a pause right here. When you log into when you're in Teams, you're going to be able to see the day and the time of your live sessions. Now, the way that it works here is your live sessions could be either Monday and Tuesday for the entire term, or Wednesday and Thursday for the entire term, the whole 5 weeks. And they're going to be from 6 to 9:30 p.m. So it's never going to switch up on you week to week. It'll never be, oh, this week is Monday, Tuesday, and then next week is Wednesday, Thursday. Nope. For that 5 weeks, if it's a Monday, Tuesday, it's a Monday, Tuesday. For that 5 weeks, if it's Wednesday, Thursday, it's a Wednesday, Thursday, right? It is 6 to 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hear me out. I get it. We have folks here that are on the East Coast, that are overseas. I understand that because this time could be 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. for the folks maybe on the East Coast. All of our sessions are recorded. So Kenneth, we have it on if you're watching, we have it here on the slide. Class live sessions are Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday from 6 to 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can locate your live class in your Microsoft Teams app. So because again, they are those hours that are Pacific Standard Time, for those that cannot make it, all of our sessions are recorded. Okay. However, I do want you all to understand that it's really, really important that you create a schedule and plan ahead. Once you go through about 1 to 2 weeks of a course, you're going to get a pretty good cadence of, oh, I know exactly what I need to do by Wednesday, by Thursday, by Saturday, right? You'll get into a good rhythm and a good flow. So yeah, Jesse, if you are, I'm not sure, Mountain Time, whatever, right now it's 2:19 here. So yeah, that'll be your time. If you can make it, that's wonderful. If not, we understand they are recorded. We do want to make sure that you are allocating 20 to 30 hours per week to stay on track. This is not something that is not going to take effort and time. It is, right? So we want to make sure that you're aware that you've got to make some time for your studies and to dedicate to completing your coursework and maintaining, academic progress. Nobody's choosing if it's a Monday, Tuesday, or a Wednesday, Thursday. Depending on the course and our instructor availability, that's what's provided. So it'll either be per term, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, depending on the course. For those that are asking for hybrid students, we'll talk about that in the military brief, but we do have options for that. Okay. And then the last thing I want to talk about on this page is going to be to check your student email. This is how we're going to be communicating with you a lot. Frequent communication will happen from student services, from career services, from finance, from admissions, from your faculty. Just like you check your texts and your emails, hopefully every day, I'm going to ask that you do the same for the CIET email. It's really, really important. Okay. And just a fun fact, we did a neat study, and so we did find that students who successfully pass their first course are more likely to graduate, and that's because you're setting good habits for yourself and you're setting a good foundation. If I do well in my first class, I'm going to do well in my entire program. I can guarantee that. If you create a good rhythm and a good, again, foundation and healthy habits within your first course, I promise you it's going to just, that momentum will go throughout your entire program and it's going to fly by. Before you know it, you're done with your certificate program, your associates, your bachelor's, it doesn't matter. It's really important that you all understand that this is a crucial time for you all to do well in your first course. That's going to set the tone for the remainder of your program. Okay. All right. So here's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about attendance. So I said that attendance is not going to be calculated or monitored or tracked based off of your live participation in the live sessions. That is correct. How we track attendance is going to be based on your overall engagement in the course. So here's where I'm going to explain it. So I need all of you to really pay attention to this one. CIET has a 5-week term. Every week within that 5 weeks, you're going to have all of the coursework for that week. It's all going to be due by Saturday, right? So I'm coming in on Monday and I'm coming into week 1 and I'm checking my all of my coursework for week 1, and all of my coursework for week 1 says everything is due by Saturday. Fantastic. However, we're going to add an element to that. In order for you all to maintain attendance, which is an 80% cumulative attendance, you must choose one of those assignments or pieces of coursework in week 1 to complete by Tuesday, another one by Thursday, and then something by Saturday. Saturday is, you want to think of it as a wash because you're already submitting everything by Saturday. However, it's really, 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 really important that you understand that, again, every week you're going to see everything due for that week by Saturday. It's up to you to determine which one of those assignments for week 1 you want to complete by Tuesday of that week, by Thursday of that week, and by Saturday of that week. John, thank you for asking that. What if you get it all done early? Now, hear me out on this. You can work ahead, but do not work ahead for any weeks after the week that you're in. So for example, if you finish all of your week 1 coursework and you submit it by Monday or Tuesday, it'll catch for Thursday and Saturday. So you can work ahead, but only for that week. Do not work ahead and submit something for week 2 and week 1. If you want to work ahead like that, yeah, go ahead and do it, but save it onto your computer. And then in week 2, go ahead and submit it. John, does that make sense? Yes, beautiful. Anisha, do we have to submit at least 3 assignments by Saturday? You have to submit 1 by Tuesday, 1 by Thursday, and the rest by Saturday. Does that make sense? And that's every single week. So you're welcome. So in order for students to graduate successfully, we have two components of graduation. You must have a 2.0 GPA. Exactly. Don't submit all on Saturday. You must have a 2.0 GPA cumulative, and you must have an 80% cumulative attendance. So that means you can only not submit something by those checkpoints 2 times in a term. It's really important. That's why I'm saying it's important that you get into this rhythm and this groove to be like, I know I'm going to submit something by Tuesday. I'm going to submit that by Thursday and then everything else by Saturday. If you have 100% attendance for the week, fantastic. It's perfect. But if you do not submit something on Tuesday, guess what? And that day is gone. You're going to be counted absent. We don't want that to happen. Yes, it's like this in all programs. Yep. So just logging in doesn't count for attendance. Looking at something doesn't count for attendance. Watching a live session doesn't count for attendance. It's going to be active engagement, which is going to be submission of your coursework. So just submit on work on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. If you want to, it's up to you. The checkpoints are Tuesday, Thursday, and everything else by Saturday. If you want to submit on Monday for Tuesday, you can do that. If you want to submit on Wednesday for Thursday, you can do that. If you want to submit on Friday for Saturdays, you can do that. I just want to make sure nobody's late. I don't want you to let a Tuesday go by and then you submit nothing and you're marked absent. I don't want a Thursday to go by and you're not submitting anything then, and now you're marked absent 2 times. We also have what we call, is there a deadline on those days? Yes, on the screen here, you're going to see that it's by 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's really important that that's how Canvas is set up. You've got to submit coursework, which means you're engaging into the course by 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Tuesday, something by 11:59 Pacific Time Thursday, and then the rest by Saturday. One suggestion that I've found that students have really liked doing is every course has like a discussion. So when you have a course that has a discussion, there are 3 components of a discussion. You have your actual discussion post, and then a response to a classmate and another response to a classmate. Those are the 3 components. Some students like to do, all right, I know that I'm going to post my discussion by Tuesday. I'll respond to one classmate by Thursday, and then I'll do the rest of my coursework by Saturday. But there's so many elements that you can choose from in every week. It's up to you. You can do a knowledge check on Tuesday. You can do a lab on Thursday, and then everything else by Saturday. That's it. So I really want to make sure that we tell you now what attendance looks like so that you can prepare for it. And we want to make sure that students do not exceed our 14-day attendance requirement. So this is a policy that's, given to us by the Department of Education, and we have to make sure that your intention is to be in school. If you're out of attendance for 14 consecutive days, including weekends, we can't keep you here as an institution. So we do have to drop you at that point. So it's not going to be a surprise. You will get communication and feedback. If you're probably trending to get off track with your attendance, we have great outreach. But I just wanted to make it clear for the attendance of just stay engaged, participate, do all of your coursework. Yes, there is more than 3 assignments, of course. There's a list of assignments for every week, but it's up to you again to pick something by Tuesday, by Thursday, and then the rest by Saturday. Beautiful. So if you have a vacation plan for the week of the 18th, you can either submit everything for that week on that Monday. So that way you can complete it beforehand and just submit it on that Monday or Tuesday. But for Jason, I would recommend reaching out to your student success advisor. We can talk about that when you get a welcome call next week. I would mention it to them and see what plan you can come up with. But yeah, we can talk about that with your advisor. All righty, beautiful. Let's talk about certifications. All right, so we do have a great amount of support with our certification. So our curriculum covers industry certifications. And as you can see here, it does include CompTIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Cisco, EC Council, ISC2. So in addition to the classroom training, in addition to earning your certificate or your degree, please understand that having these certifications is going to open up a lot of opportunities for both career placement and career advancement. And it's going to give you the competitive edge that you might be looking for. Okay. We do provide support to both current active students and graduates, even after up to 180 days after graduation. So for active students and for those that complete their program with us, you all get 6 months after you complete your program to continue to get support from CIAT with your certifications. So we will provide you a practice exam. We provide you the vouchers. We provide you with tutoring. We have test prep workshops, and we have an unlimited voucher policy. What that means is if you don't pass your first attempt, we're going to encourage you to keep going, and we're going to support you with that. We will continue to help you get that certification. So the key to being successful here is to plan early, okay? We recommend that you create a timeline when you want to work on each certification. So going back to, I did say the 5 weeks go by so fast. I don't recommend that you save all of your certifications until the end. However, we do want to make sure that you are planning. Okay. I want to call your attention here to this acronym FAIL, right? So we like to use this acronym as the first attempt in learning. I want you to all understand that these certification assessments and tests, they're intentionally made to be a little difficult. If you don't pass on your first attempt, it's okay. It's fine. We are going to support you. And if you need tutoring, we can give you another voucher if you were really close. It doesn't matter. That's why we have the unlimited certification attempt policy. Okay. The only way that you're going to be able to fail is if you give up. So make sure that you're keeping in touch with your advisor. Make sure that you're keeping in touch with your instructors if you feel like you need help. Okay. So let's pause right here. What if you have a certification already, like A+ that hasn't expired? Good question, Matthew. If you are going to want to use it for course credit, we do need a copy of that certification. So go ahead and send it to Donald. If you can put the records email in here. If you can send that to the records email and just say, hey, I'm looking to apply this, or you can talk to your admissions advisor. I'm sure if you've told them, they might have requested it already. But that would be great. How many tries, Jalen? It's unlimited. Can we schedule an exam the day after the term? Yeah, as long as you pass the course and you're passing 2 practice exams with a 90% or higher. So we provide you with unlimited practice exams. Once you get the 2 at 90% or higher, that's it. You can take the certification. Are failures recorded in this industry? So I think I'm going to leave that question probably for Jill. She's our Director of Career Services. I know that you're asking about employers. Junie, if you have a certification already and it hasn't expired and you're requesting to use it for course credit, go ahead and email it to the email that we have in the chat. Is the certification test the same thing as the final test? No. The final exam is part of your course. Their certification is an industry certification that's tied to CompTIA, AWS, Microsoft. So it's something in addition to the course. Mike, if you can just put your question in the chat, please. I see your hand up. You're welcome. Beautiful. Awesome. Alrighty, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about what happens after your first course. Okay. So the neat thing about CIAT, really quick, I'll get back to you in just a second, Jenny. So really quick, courses are scheduled for you, which is the nice thing. Our wonderful records team will schedule your courses accordingly. So what we do is we take into consideration any transfer credits you've sent in based off of your official transcripts, any certifications that haven't expired that you've requested to put towards your program. So it's really specific to you. So we do schedule your courses for you. One thing that I do want to make sure all of you understand and be clear is that this first course, because of how crucial it is for you to start building those habits and having a good foundation with this, is that you have to pass your first term with a minimum of a C grade or higher. Okay. If you're below the 74%, we cannot register for you for your second course. For those that are utilizing VA benefits, we cannot certify you until you're at that threshold. And if you don't pass that, we're going to have to cancel your enrollment. So we don't want to do that. However, this is going to help us track your progress and make sure that you're successfully completing this first course. Okay. It's really important that you're financially cleared before you get into your second course. This is not going to be a surprise to you. The financial aid coordinators will be reaching out to you pretty often to try to get you cleared before the next term. So if you have what we call a registration hold, meaning if you're not passing your course or if you have a financial hold on your account, we will not register you until both of those have been resolved, and you will not get certified until both of those have been resolved. So it's really important that you do well in your first course. But if you're cleared and you're passing your course, of course, we are going to schedule you for your second. Okay. For those of you that have requested, that have taken prior college and have credits to transfer in, you may have sent over your unofficial transcripts. We have to have your officials by the end of your first term. If we don't have it again, we won't be able to register you for the second course. So it's really important that you are submitting your official transcripts. So start now. If you know that you have unofficials on file, go ahead and start that process now. Don't wait. And then if you are in one of our IT programs, I want you to make sure that you're verifying your address and that you're passing your course to receive equipment. So when you're in your student portal, there is an area for you to verify your mailing address. You're going to have 2 courses in which you're going to be sent a PC build kit and a networking kit. We're going to send multiple emails to say, verify your address, verify your address, verify your address. It's really important that you're verifying your mailing address because that's where we're going to be sending the equipment. So we'll attempt as much as we can, but it's really up to all of you to make sure that the address you have on file is correct. Okay. I do want to pause right here. I know that we have some questions. Okay, perfect. Donald and Jill, thank you for doing that. I think we got some clarification there. Will it be clear what certs we should go? Yeah, based off the course we take. Absolutely. So, Donald, yes, if there is a certification for your course, you will know which one. Also, all of our program guides, I believe, do have the association of the certification with the course. So we can provide that to you. If we're here for our associates, how many months in that total? So 17 courses. However, I don't know specifically if you have any prior college transfer credits or a certificate. So that should be, Kenneth, that should have been discussed with you with your admissions advisor. I do recommend you going back and speaking to them if you need that. Ryan, if you're already a CIET student, no, you don't need to worry about that. So if you are enrolled into a certificate program, does that mean you take the certification test at the end of my program? You don't have to. We don't recommend it, but you can. You can take it throughout your program, depending on how ready you feel. So Jesse, there's a difference between official and unofficial. Unofficial means you can log into your student portal from another institution. You can download a copy of your unofficial transcripts. That is not something we can accept because institutions, it's just I think Department of Education policy is that official transcripts means that it is sent by the institution, kind of like signed, sealed, delivered with a stamp. That means that the transcripts have not been compromised. They have not been opened or changed. And so that's what official means. So you have unofficial, which is easily accessible to you, but institutions require official. And again, your admissions advisor can go over that process with you if you're a little unsure. Oh, perfect. I'm glad. If my degree is in something different, do you still need my official? I recommend yes, to be honest with you, David. You never know. Maybe it'll cover a GE. It's just, it wouldn't hurt to try. I think you should. Awesome. Beautiful. I think we got through all the questions. All right. Awesome. I am going to hand it over to our wonderful Director of Career Services, Jill. She is going to be able to go over her department and some support and services they have there.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to CIET. Welcome to the CIET family. We are so excited to have you. I'm just here to talk briefly about the department and the resources you have access to as a student and as a graduate here at CIET. We are really here to help you find success, whatever success means for you, whether it be certification and industry exam prep and passing, finding a new position, transitioning in your current position. We want to help you end to end. So your very first term as a student, you're going to get a call from your career services advisor. You have an assigned career services advisor, just like you have a student success advisor, financial aid coordinator. You have a dedicated team here to help you from end to end. So as this says, career exploration. What are you doing with that certification or degree that you are going to be earning from CIET? Resume building. How do you incorporate all of your skills and knowledge learned at CIET into your application resources and documents? How do you find meaningful positions and IT-aligned roles, both during your time at CIET and as a graduate? And then how do you prepare? So we want to ensure that you feel fully supported, as I'm sure you've heard just thematically over and over again. You have a team. Connect with us. We do email you through your school email, so please check that one. But know that we are here to support you in all of your growth and professional goals while you are here. So please do not wait until you graduate. Get in touch with us early, develop a plan, develop short-term and long-term goals and milestones with this department, and stay in touch with us. So we really are excited to welcome you all to CIET and really look forward to your journey and what you do with the education received here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jill. All righty. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, let's talk some money. I do want to introduce our senior financial aid advisor, Stefania. She's going to go over really important topics and items you need to know in regards to your finance. Steph? I think I unmuted you, but let me just double check. I'm sorry. There you go. My bad.
Thank you, Tavon.
You're welcome. Sorry.
No problem. Hi, everyone. My name is Stephania. Just like Tavon said, I'm the Senior Financial Aid Advisor here. So I just wanted to cover a couple of items. By now, everyone would have if not everyone, most of you would have already completed your financial aid packaging by this point going into your program. So that would mean that you have the FAFSAs completed already, you've done all your documents, etc. However, it is important to set yourself a reminder to complete the upcoming FAFSA year as well, which is going to be the 27-28 FAFSA. And that will be available to students by January 1st of 2027. So just be sure to set that reminder so that as you go through your program, should that FAFSA be needed later on, you do already have that completed ahead of time and it's available to your financial aid coordinator to review. Speaking of financial aid coordinators, so you will be assigned a financial aid coordinator. These are different than your financial aid advisors. Myself, as a financial aid advisor, I may have met with some of you coming into the program to do all your financial aid going in. Financial aid coordinators are going to be there to assist you as you start your program and all the way through the end of your program. So they will also, and you will receive their point of contact information as well. And they will also be during week 4 of your first class, so first term, they will be requesting your first academic year's financial aid. So this is not separate than what you went over in your initial financial aid appointment. They will be requesting these funds from the Department of Education. At that time, they're going to be sending you what's called an aid offer letter. So the aid offer letter is going to go to your personal email. So you want to be sure to check that there. And it's important that when you do get it, that you sign it, review it, sign it promptly to prevent any funding delays. The next topic is going to be just a couple of tips in regards to managing and budgeting, etc. So managing your finances effectively would look like, keep in mind textbooks are an out-of-pocket expense, so we want to budget for that expense. Also, any failed courses or leave of absences that you may take during your program could also change your funding. So keep that in mind as well. For any one of you who have maybe a monthly payment plan going into the program, be mindful of that and set a reminder for that as well so that you don't get behind on your monthly payments. And then should you ever have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to your financial aid coordinator again, as they are here to assist. I will post there's the contact information here, phone and email, but I'm going to post it as well in the chat so that anybody can just copy that from there. And I think that'll be it for us in financial aid.
Awesome. We did have something in the chat. I don't know if you want to just respond to that so everyone can see it.
I was told FAFSA does not fund CIET programs. That's something changed recently. So the only programs FAFSA would not be applicable to would be our bachelor degree programs. Any other program FAFSA can apply to. Now, depending on your specific FAFSA application would depend on your eligibility specifically. So if you do have prior going into starting class in April, if you do have questions about a FAFSA, you can reach out to your current financial aid advisor directly to get assistance for it.
Thank you.
My name once more is Stephania. I don't know if somebody asked me that in the chat, but yes, so yeah, just bachelor degree programs would not be applicable for FAFSA at this time.
For clarifying that. Awesome. All righty. Thank you so much. I do see hands going up. So that's chat is turned off for me. Mike, I'll unmute you in a second. No worries. Okay. So before we wrap up and get to the Q&A, I do want to make sure that the military brief, sorry, don't disregard this right here. This is not right. But the military brief is going to be just in the next, I would say, 45 minutes. We're going to be going over tuition assistance, VA benefits, online versus hybrid, what that means, midterms, finals, the testing requirements, final exam to certification, right? Those are two different things. We'll talk about that. But I do want to leave it open. So if you can raise your virtual hand, and I will just go through and unmute, and then you can ask your question. And so Mike Turner, I know that you have a question, and I'm so sorry you're not able to put anything in the chat, but you can unmute yourself, and we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the entire time I haven't been able to see anything typed in the chat or type anything in the chat. So every piece of information you guys put in the chat, I wasn't able to get to. I'm assuming it's something I can probably get to like on my dashboard or something like that. But it would have been great to be able to see the chat.
So sorry. We can send you the recording, and it should have the transcription, so you can go through all of the chats as well. Yeah. I'm so
And my
sorry.
question, and my one question that I did have, it was a
yeah.
while back.
Okay, we can go back.
As far as like comp TA, I have Security Plus, I have Sec Plus, but it's expired. What I have to like retake the whole thing.
So you would have to retake the class if you wanted
Mhm.
to use that for course credit,
Uh-huh.
but we would provide you with the practice exams and the voucher, and we pay for that.
Okay, so I would have to take the exam again, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Or you could renew it on your own. It's up to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Wanya?
Yes, I have that same problem. You said put something in the chat if you're not able to get to your student portal. I'm not able to reach mine as well, so I just wanted
Okay.
to mention that.
Absolutely. So Wanya Young, Donald, can you see who the enrollment coordinator is? And maybe we can send him an email. Please. And that's your legal name, right? That's what you have with your enrollment, just to make sure we're looking at the right student.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Wonderful. Let's see here. We do have Rodney. Go for it.
Yes, I had the same issue as well. I wasn't able to view the chats.
So sorry. Did you have a question, Rodney?
I didn't. I just had the same issue as the previous two as far as being able to view the
Yeah,
chat.
we're going to look into that. The chat should not be disabled because I know that some students already put it in there. But again, I apologize. We'll look at the settings, and I don't know if it's maybe because of an outside account being used. I'm not sure, but I'm so sorry. If you have questions, please let me know. I would love to answer them. Jesse, you should be able to unmute yourself. Jesse?
Okay. So I didn't realize that FAFSA didn't cover the bachelor's degree program. So if you wanted to roll over, that would be like out of pocket.
Stefania, did you want to answer that?
I'm happy to answer that question.
Oh.
Hi, Jesse. So if you could just elaborate a little bit, what do you mean rollover? Are you looking to roll over into another program?
No, I just mean like in general, like I was hoping to just keep going, from here to more maybe.
Are you currently in the bachelor's program? Is that the program that you're starting with? Gotcha. Okay. So once we do decide to go into the bachelor's program, one of our financial aid advisors will meet with you to go over some of our amazing scholarships that are actually relatable to the federal grants that the FAFSA will give. They're actually very comparable. We do have like a Pell match grant, so it is very helpful, especially with our payment plans. It's very and we're also very much hoping that by that time it is approved. We're waiting, any day now. We're hoping to hear from the federal government that it will be approved. So I would continue on with your program and just reach back out to us. We will definitely send out an email to all of our students once it is approved. But for now, that's what I would suggest.
Thank you, Cindy.
Taban,
Yes.
I just wanted to let Wanya know that his welcome email has been resent to him. So check your email and just look at the instructions.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you, Donald.
Yes, thank you for your
Perfect. Any other questions? I think we're just about time. I do want to give folks some time to get ready for the military brief that are going to be joining at 3:30. Okay. Again, thank you all. Oh, Tonio, you have a question? Tonio? You can unmute yourself. Oh, okay. Jocelyn, if you want to unmute yourself, go for it. Jocelyn, do you want to unmute yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
So my question is, I've jumped in a little like 20 minutes after the meeting started. What day can we access our content? and on the portfolio, on the portal, sorry.
So you should be able to log into your student portal. And
Yeah,
if you're
I am.
registered, you should be able to access your first course this weekend. So before the start date, you should be able to see it. If you're not registered in a course, then we need to determine why that happened. But you should be able to see that essentially now. If you're registered, you should be able to see it.
Sure thing. Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Mike, you're not able to access your portal. Thank you for letting us know. Somebody on the team will be sending you an email. Kenneth, I'm not going to be giving the military brief. However, I will be in attendance. Our admissions manager, who was a prior chief in the military, is going to be facilitating the military brief. But again, I will be there as well to help support. When should we expect to hear from our financial aid coordinator? Steph, do you have an answer on that, or maybe Cindy? I'm not sure.
Yes, of course. You should probably be hearing from them after week 3, I believe, but if not sooner, they'll be contacting you with an offer letter.
Anyone we can call first if on day one the course doesn't work? Absolutely. You have your admissions advisor. Day one, you're going to be getting an email from your student success advisor. So you're going to have lots of resources. So please do not hesitate to reach out. So Jesse, if you're unregistered or not enrolled, then that's why you're not registered for a course. We need to have you speak to your admissions advisor. Kenneth, I don't think it should have brought you here. If you clicked on the military brief, that's a different link that you're going to use. It's not going to be here. You can see what future classes you're going to be enrolling in after the first term. So your student portal is going to show the next class that you're scheduled to take once you're registered. However, all of you should have received what's called a course plan, and it tells you all of the courses that you're going to be taking in your program. Bobby, we're going to be talking about that in the military brief. The final and the midterm are two different pieces of the residency requirement to fulfill that. So we'll talk about that at the brief. Absolutely. Wonderful. Okay, looks like we are at time. Perfect timing. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. We're super excited to have you. Kenneth, it looks like we're going to probably have to send you a different link if it keeps bringing you back. Donald, can you click on that link and see why if it's sending you here as well? I'm not sure. Or Mark, if you have a different link, if you can add it to this chat.
I clicked on it, it takes me to the brief.
Okay, perfect. Just click on that in the chat, Kenneth. Alrighty, I hope you guys have a great day. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Good luck. We hope to talk to you soon. If not in the military brief, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye. Welcome. Thank you. Of course. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Of course. Awesome. Alrighty. Anything else? Thank you. Looks like a pleasure meeting you all too. Absolutely. Okay. Still have about 15 people left. You can exit, or if you want to stick around for any questions that you might have. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, we'll hop off at the 3 o'clock mark. nobody has any questions. Okay. Still have about 12 people in here. Does anybody have any questions before we hop off? Don't think so. Alrighty. Thanks, Donald. Talk to you soon. Bye.